All right, this is the Monday, October 27th, 2025 meeting of the Franklin Public Library Board of Trustees meeting. This is Maria Imp, and I will take attendance. Annie Oklubgia is excused. Amanda Pound.
Here.
Christopher Dahl.
Here.
Terrence Barris.
Here.
Lauren Rosso is not here yet. Alan Alexandrovich.
Here.
Mike Karlevitz.
Hi.
And Jason Craig.
Present.
Excellent. Okay. Agenda item 2, public comment. No one is here. And agenda item 3 is the approval of the September 22nd, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Anybody see anything on the minutes that need to be adjusted?
I'll make a motion to approve them as written.
Second.
That was Mike and Alan. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Abstain.
Oh, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And Jason is abstaining. Okay, so that was Mike and Alan. And, okay. Great. Welcome. Hi. No problem. Okay, no visitors here. And then we're on agenda item 5 already. The Finance Committee, first thing we'll do vouchers and invoices, and then Alan will continue with everything else.
All right.
I need invoices.
Oh, I thought I handed them to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got them on the back. Never mind.
You're
My
taking
note
notes
paper.
on them.
My note paper, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway,
The invoices are on the paper with all the scribbling on them. Okay, Fund 15. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. And so I'm looking for a motion to approve $15,735.36 of the invoices.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
And it was Amanda. Any questions about those? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries.
Fund 16, only $2,189.21 worth of invoices, and I'm looking for a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second that.
Okay, it was Maria and Jason. Any other questions about those charges or those invoices? All in favor?
aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries.
Okay, everything was really straightforward in the financials. We are looking at September's numbers, so the reports represent 74.79% of the year. Revenue in Fund 15 is 97.34%. Expenditures are only 65.9% of the budget. And again, the expenditures were as anticipated. Fund 16, the revenue is 82.25% of the budget. The expenditure is 56.34% of the budget. Expenditures as anticipated, and the cash register report was perfect as expected. The only comments I'll make about all the spreadsheets that I put together is I will go to
Page.
page page 8 and 9
Okay,
and 10, and these are the ones that we have the actuals for 2025 through September, and then the last 3 months of last year.
right.
And if we look at that, we can see it for Fund 15 that we're running, it looks like, behind budget on the revenues coming in. That's on page 8. 1,550,700 budget, and our total is 1,534,932. But our 1,534,932 does not include reciprocal borrowing, so actually our revenues are running better than what we anticipated. And if we go to the bottom line of total expenditures, the expenditures are running at $557,606, and the budget was $1,712,748. That's on page 9. I'm sorry I didn't lead with that. So not only are we doing better with the revenue coming in, but we're doing better in our expenditures. And the same thing is going on in Fund 16, where the revenues are higher than budget, and the expenditures are below what we were budgeting.
So that it's not a secret, do we have any idea why? I know it's the same thing, it's just like we are so far ahead when you look at, are we just not spending money? What's going on?
Some of it is the last 3 months, which are designed, from last year, designed to fill out a 12-month representation here.
Right.
But the labor is gonna be higher. So we will eat into that a little bit, and if Jennifer knows anything that's gonna come out.
Well, even
at
when
the
I
end
was
of-
just looking at the first 9 months of the year,
Yeah,
just comparing, that to budget, it's just like
We've been
our
very-
expenses are so low.
We've been frugal, that's one reason.
I believe, yeah.
We had an issue with, Chris probably knows about it, Baker and Taylor.
Just gonna ask.
So Baker and Taylor, which is our book vendor, they are gone. They're like, I mean, it's kind of shocking because they've been around for over 100 years, and they're just gone. And so librarians have put a lot of work into canceling orders from Baker and Taylor and reordering with Ingram, our other book vendor that we use. And we're behind. So with materials, we will probably catch up. Because eventually we will catch up with ordering and then have everything that we need.
Now,
So that
was
another
having
reason.
Ingram along with Baker and Taylor intentional?
Yes. It's
So
always
is
been
there a
intentional.
backup for Ingram?
Funny that you mentioned
Well,
that.
that this, yes.
We are looking for one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some other ones. There's Mackin, there's Brodart, Follett.
Wauwatosa use?
They use Baker and Taylor like we did. But I'm
I'm just asking
You
that
know, the
because you
good
look to other
news-
libraries and go, okay, does anybody else
So,
have a success story?
we were very lucky
think some of them
because
didn't
we
have a
always
backup.
have had, we never wanted to have our eggs all in one basket.
Smart.
So we had an account with Ingram, even though we didn't use them as much. So what happened when Baker and Taylor started going under and they were not sending shipments and people
Right.
weren't getting books, people tried to open up accounts with Ingram and were turned away because Ingram had too much, they were overwhelmed with too much
Bandwidth,
business.
yeah.
So the fact that we already had an account with Ingram was very lucky, very fortunate.
So that was a failure story?
Yeah. Baker and Taylor's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just librarians are all like, what? Because there are many libraries that have only ordered Baker and Taylor for their entire existence,
Right,
you know.
I bet.
And I'm sure Baker and Taylor was very happy that they did that
Mm-hmm.
while they were still,
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. They started having trouble during the pandemic, I think, and never seemed to quite
Seemed to-
recover from that.
Interesting.
Their customer service had gotten pretty bad.
Mm.
So
I guess my question too, and Mike often asks this, so, is just, being good stewards of the money that the city gives us is one thing, but we want to make sure we use what we have been given. And so do you feel like materials will eat up
So,
a lot of that?
I don't know if you remember last year I had presented some places we could save money
Yeah.
because we were eating too much into
Right.
our fund balance.
Yes,
We will use up our budget.
okay. Yep.
What
I
I'm
guess
trying
that's
to
the
do is
important
not
thing.
eat into our
Fund balance, yes.
as much.
Very smart, yep.
Because once that money's gone, it's gone, and we're
Right.
gonna need it down the road
Right.
potentially, so.
Yeah. Okay.
That explains it.
yeah, so I looked at library materials, and in Fund 16,
I saw that.
we have a budget of 12,000, we have nothing that we've spent, and in this one, our budget is, I don't see it right now, but I thought it was 91,000, yeah it is, and 83,000 is all that we've spent. Other little things were, if you remember what Jennifer wrote in her report, what are we saving in electricity? About 20,000 for the year?
We were up to 20,000 now.
Yeah, we budgeted 84,000, and this is showing that we might come out with only spending 59,000.
Right.
So, we have natural gas budgeted 21,000, it looks like we're on pace for spending 13,000. We've got areas where we're just
Right.
not spending as much. Interdepartment charges coming from the city hall. Budget 56,000, we're on pace to spend 50. I mentioned dust free. Dust free is gone. We had a budget of 39,000, and
Yeah.
we're
We're done.
looking like we're gonna hit 27,000, but in fact, what we have in there for October and November and December just isn't gonna happen. We're only gonna have 6,000. So I mean, we've got all those kinds of savings. Yeah, they're all over the board.
Yeah, Jennifer, did you hear anything more after the presentation in front of the Finance Council about the budget?
We're fine. I mean,
Yeah.
what you see here
Yeah.
is our budget, is our budget. That's what.
Okay.
I
I
think
mean,
is
it
that-
hasn't been adopted, you know, the council has not approved.
We have process that we have to do hearings, we have to do the whole shebang bang when it comes to the entirety of the budget. So, right now, there's a request that was put to departments at City Hall regarding more cuts that were needed across all departments. That has not been something that's come through as far as I'm aware of, and I have finance tomorrow night. I know that there was a lot of resistance to that, but we had very little net new construction, thus the levy couldn't really move very much. So, and with, and you can kind of attest, and I think everyone here at the table can attest, that nothing has gotten cheaper in the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 25 years. I can't think of much that's gotten much cheaper in that time frame. So the hope is that, my hope is that this year is an anomaly in that we were able to get a lot of net new construction in the coming years, so that way that can raise the levy. And so when Costco decides to put down their stakes in 27th Street, or all the Highway 100, or a condo development in District 6, that's going to lead to more revenues that we're able to kind of utilize.
So we may just have a bad year.
That's what I, knock on wood.
That happens.
That's just what this year was, and that won't be the case moving forward, but there's always possibilities of other things.
So after that finance committee meeting, then was this budget put out, or was this put out before all of those meetings?
Oh,
Because this is what we're voting on tonight.
That's
Yeah.
the mayor's recommended
That's-
budget.
this is the budget, yes.
And that is not, those numbers, according to Danielle, have not changed for the library.
Right,
Library's not.
right,
What
It's-
we're voting, what you're voting, or what you're not voting, but adopting
right,
tonight.
voting to
is
adopt.
the mayor's recommended
Right.
budget of the numbers that I presented.
Right.
Well, that makes sense from a
Yeah.
planning standpoint. Right now, at least we know what the target is.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
The last, page 16 is a credit card summary, and there is nothing for the month of September that looks out of the norm.
So,
Again, we're controlling our costs very well. So that is my report.
any questions for Alan? Okay. We will move on then. The first item under business is the adoption of the mayor's recommended budget, and Jennifer has so wonderfully laid out on page 17 the motions that need to be made. So I will move that the library board adopt the 2026 library budget for Fund 15 with $1,593,494 of revenues, $1,497,446 of operating expenditures, and $124,637 of capital expenditures.
Second.
That was Maria and Alan. Let's see. Does anyone have questions on do we have to approve those separately?
We should.
Okay. Any questions on Fund 15? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries. And then I will also move that the library board adopts the 2026 library budget for Fund 16 with $61,290 of revenues, $44,250 of operating expenditures, and $17,040 of capital expenditures.
Second.
Maria and Alan again. Any questions about that part of the mayor's recommended budget? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries. All right. Our next agenda item relates to our discussion last month. We had the action on dropping Hoopla, and but we didn't have adopting or funding the Lucky Day collection in Overdrive. So this is just the action. We already kind of had the discussion last month regarding this. Does anybody need any questions answered or anything brought up to speed? You're okay, Jason? All right. Then I just need a motion. How do we want to word that?
So,
Okay,
Just
yes,
real
yes,
quick.
you have to, yes.
so I had asked for 8,000 to fund 150,000 in the Lucky Day. When it came up at LDAC, all of the other libraries are funding it at 100,000. So Franklin can either say, we're gonna fund it at 100,000,
A portion of the 100,000.
or we're gonna go ahead and do our original 8,000 and fund it a little bit higher. But, what I was talking with you about earlier was that maybe
Right.
it would just be best this year to fund the 100,000. I personally, I expressed this to the library directors, it's not enough.
Mhm.
That we really should probably do 150.
Well, then why don't we?
It's everybody else's budget too.
So just because we say we want to fund it up to 150, if the other member libraries don't do it, it won't be funded at 150.
Now Franklin could decide, yeah, we're going to spend the original 8,300,
Mhm.
but that'll only add like 3,300. That's only going to add a little bit to
Because we're doing it by ourselves.
because we're doing it by ourselves. So it's really only going to be like 3,000 extra, which is not that much in ebook,
Correct.
e-audio book.
And my question to Jennifer was, how would there be any possibility, or does she have a sense of swaying those other member libraries, or are they pretty set? Because we could word the motion to state like up to 150,000 and not just pick a number, and then that way if they only funded to 100, we could remain there, or if Jennifer could persuade them. Do you have a sense, or not really? Do you? Okay.
Probably not this year.
Okay.
I think as moving forward next year, I think we'll all come, like their
With some
feeling
data.
was, we'll just see how far the 100,000 gets us, if it makes a difference, or if we need to do.
Is this the type of thing that could be adjusted mid-year, or is it a year, like an annual?
Because of the way we
Yeah.
plan our budgets,
Yeah.
it really
Okay.
has to be
It has to be,
year.
okay, that's what I thought.
Now, do you think that helps the communication to the community that, this decision is being made conservatively starting in? Because we're not
Yeah.
exactly sure, we don't want to spend the extra money. We are still providing a service to you,
Yeah,
right? We're providing it at this level, and that means that. Don't have to talk about futures, just say, as a result of Hoopla going away and us getting this, what will you, as the typical library patron, realize, or what will you see is going to be?
Well, we've
Now, if
already
you can
yeah.
honestly say,
Mhm.
we don't expect that you're gonna see much difference, and then just see how it plays out, and then if all of a sudden, I'm not getting my, then we go ahead and up to 150 next year.
Mhm. That's what I
Yeah.
think we're all kind of.
Yeah,
Thinking of
Yeah.
Me,
using
I
this as a
wanted to do
data.
the,
Yeah.
I wanted to do the 150, because I honestly, I don't think 100 is enough, but, it's part of being,
We're talking $8,000 and $100,000. The $100,000 is obviously all the libraries. Throwing in
So,
8,000,
our
that's
share
what gets
of
us
it-
up to.
yeah, our share of that
Okay.
was like 5,000, whereas the share of the 150 was 8,300.
So we're looking to come in at our share of 5,000, because that's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, although when you act on it, maybe, funding Franklin's portion up to 100,000. Franklin's portion, I was trying to find that number, because I was going to look that up today, and,
I would say you can't say we'll fund Franklin's portion up to 100,000. That, it sounds like we're committing $100,000.
yeah, it's not, it's the portion of it to get it to 100,000, hold on,
Right,
let
we have to
me,
be sure that's what it.
and and this is just me, I think that's important for us to know, but when you're just communicating, how am I gonna see a difference in service when Hoopla goes away and this comes in? I mean, that piece of information is not important. Me as a customer, I really don't care what what, am I gonna be able to get what I'm looking for?
Right,
Really,
right.
that's really the big deal.
Oh,
okay. So
I agree
our-
with you in how we put
yeah.
it to the community. We should make sure that we communicate that well. But here from the standpoint of the finances and what's hitting,
And how we,
how
what
how
our
we're committing,
action here.
we have
what-
to make sure that everybody understands what we're doing.
Right.
It's $5,593. That is our share of the 100,000.
Okay. And you feel like the rest of the directors aren't gonna suddenly at your next meeting say 150?
No, because they're all in the middle. I mean, that's why we had to vote on it now, because we're all in the middle of budget prep.
Okay, can you say that number again?
$5,593.
Okay.
That is not in our budget right now?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we
It
have,
would be materials
still have-
or?
Oh,
we
it's
still have.
We had Hoopla
Yeah.
in the
we
budget.
still have Hoopla
Right,
in the budget.
Okay, so it's more than covered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve that amount
Mhm.
to cover our portion of Overdrive, the
Second.
Lucky Day collection.
I make a motion.
Okay, Mike and Alan. Any other questions about that?
What was that actual number from the everybody as divided?
100,000, Franklin's portion being $5,593.
And that would have been if everybody cut on an equal basis to 100,000? Is that the?
Right, well,
okay.
it's not equal, they look at our percentage, our population percentage.
Okay.
And that's how they calculate. Like, for example, Milwaukee is 43,440.
But it's only based on population, not historic usage rate?
Right,
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, so the motion that we have is that we approve the $5,593 towards which is Franklin's portion towards the McFliss Lucky Day collection in Overdrive. And I have a first and a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Perfect. Okay. Quarter 3 action plan update.
so, real quick, I haven't really, the first item under activity, under
What page?
community
you on?
focused on page 26.
26?
That that has stayed the same since the last update.
Okay.
Establish program evaluation forms that includes outputs and outcome is completed.
Is there anything here in jeopardy of not being done? You got some Q2 stuff that's still in progress, and Q1 stuff that's still in
There's
progress.
nothing that's in danger of not being done this year.
Okay,
It's just we're in various stages. We thought we would be a little bit, Brittany, Sarah, and I thought we would be a little bit further along in the children's department.
what, did you bite off more than you could chew, or what's going on there?
No, we had
Thanks.
extenuating circumstances with staff.
Got it.
We had hoped to we have a list of libraries to look at, and we haven't gotten to any of them. But I'm moving forward with Demco to get started on planning the children's area, and we still are planning to visit libraries. It's not, it just, we're a little bit further on, but we'll get it done by the end of the year. When we put the new carpet down the center area of the library, I think there's gonna be some
Configuration.
we just have to figure it out, because we can't necessarily move the DVD
Oh,
shelves to
yeah.
where the new stuff is, because it'll block our view of the nonfiction.
Well,
So
and I
we
think the
just-
DVDs were placed there when we had that issue, and there's a reason they're there
Oh, well,
too.
the DVDs, the media was always there, because back when this library was built, that was a big part of our circulation.
Mhm.
And now it's not as big of, it's not
Right.
necessarily something we need to highlight.
Right.
So we want to move our new materials over there. However,
Mm-hmm.
we don't need that many shelves for our new materials.
Gotcha. So,
So we've got to
That
move those, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at right now. We're trying to figure out what to do there.
so, I don't know whether to say this is a concern or what, but I know we are pushing to make sure that our annual goals are done. I personally don't want to overextend our staff if they are attempting to do something that has become not really doable by the end of the year.
Nobody's
So-
told me they can't get
Okay,
it done.
all
They might
right.
just be a little bit behind on some things.
Okay, yeah, I just,
But, and like I said, the Baker and Taylor, they
Gotcha.
spend a lot of time canceling orders,
gotcha, okay.
re-entering everything into Ingram.
Mm-hmm, okay,
So, but yeah, nobody has said, oh yeah, we're not gonna get that done. I mean, I had them give some updates.
those
see the-
were
the-
a great idea
30,
to see that,
page
yeah,
30 to
yeah,
It's long.
33.
yeah,
Real long.
yeah,
Lots of detail, but
right.
Yeah.
That's
Wanna know what's
very
going on, there you
helpful to
go.
see for
Mhm.
us, I think.
So, no, but nobody said they're not gonna get them done.
Okay,
We're just-
okay. I just don't wanna,
It's not,
I mean, we know how hard you guys work, and I don't want anybody to feel like there's,
well, I think on purpose, we don't have a lot of goals to finish in quarter
Okay,
3.
okay.
Because we know that quarter 3 is
right,
summer reading.
yeah, okay,
Or-
that, right,
Yeah.
following that, okay.
So we kind of,
Purposefully planned.
Yeah.
we purposely planned so that we're not doing a lot then. But yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
And you can see the listing on page 30 that Brittany and Sarah have done of libraries that they think would be worth
Yes. Mm-hmm.
visiting, that are somewhat close by. Not all of them are
Yeah, yeah.
close by, but, Kenosha's not that far. Watertown's not that far.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is Demco a preferred vendor or just,
Well, that's who did their children's desk,
okay.
and that's who, if anybody has any ideas, I'll reach out to any.
Oh, it's- No, just the libraries you're going to, they're, architects, that's not Demco, so I didn't know
Yeah.
if you were just tied to Demco, like if you talk to them, you're like, oh, this
We're
is
not
great.
looking at construction,
Yeah,
we're just looking at shelving and
Interior.
interior
design.
stuff. Not, we're not gonna be knocking out walls or building
yeah.
walls or doing any of that. So that's kind of why I just was like, I'm gonna meet with Demco Interiors and just get an idea of what we'd be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Muskego used an architect, I believe they used FEH design, but, they did a little bit more than what I'm anticipating doing over there. We already have the tree, so we don't need like anything. We have the tree, and I wanna kind of build a children's area around the tree, so to speak. I'm not getting rid of the tree, cause I'll get hung,
On the tree.
tar and feathered and hung on the tree. Andy, also, I had mentioned at our last update that Andy had done the media survey, but he hadn't summarized the results yet, so he did that, so you have it. I don't think he got as many,
Yeah, because of the sample size,
respondents.
it's like,
it's pretty small.
yeah.
I mean,
not even
compared to
100,
how
right?
many people use
Right.
our
But,
material.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It was kind of interesting, the comments about Hoopla. I was like, ooh.
I was
oops.
gonna, that, I have
Well,
some.
and since you're talking about survey, that might be a good thing after we're in a few months with, the other thing is it's like, okay, have somebody put together a good survey that's gonna get to the real pulse of how people are feeling about it.
And when I saw the comments and noticed that like 30% of them were about Hoopla,
Yeah.
when I counted them. I spoke to Jennifer about the communication with people who are really into Hoopla and how to educate them on what is available to them to replace Hoopla when Hoopla's gone. And she already has a plan, or has some
yeah.
materials together, so
Sure.
We've
that made
already
me feel
started-
better.
We already released a
right.
Facebook post letting
Yep.
people know.
Yeah, yeah.
And there were a lot of sad crying emoji faces. But nobody yelled at me.
No horns and fire and anything like that.
I think because I think the way it was explained
Yeah,
is that we're doing this because it's not sustainable.
right. Well, and giving them the new option, not new options, but the other options, yeah. And-
And I think patrons do appreciate that we are trying to contain our costs.
Absolutely.
Or actually, I should
I
say
think so.
Franklin taxpayers or.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's it, if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, anybody have questions about the Q3 that we haven't asked yet? All right, I'm gonna start sending this around. Send that
You
around.
don't want to take it home?
So that's Alan's, he will
Alan,
happily
thank you
take it
so
home.
much.
The muffins,
Well, then let us know what we should be eating so we know what to leave behind.
Everything that's in there.
Leave it behind.
I want the
I should
container
be eating
back.
those.
What?
All I want is the container back.
Okay, I'll
all
take-
right, while we're eating candy and muffins, yeah, Mike keeps it right next to him.
Stop.
Good enough.
We are looking at the circulation policy this month. Jennifer had requested or chose this one because she and Carrie, I believe, right, had been looking at this and made some changes. So, do you want to? Is there anything that you need to,
Yes.
specifically point
Yes,
out to
You're
us?
probably gonna want me to point out some
Sure,
stuff, because you're
okay.
gonna wanna understand my reasoning.
Yes,
or our
exactly.
reasoning.
Right.
Number one on page 40, the change of $10, that's a MICFLIS change, not
Yep.
a library change, so.
I remember that. Yeah.
So.
And we never
that's
changed our
not-
policy.
That's
yeah.
not something Carrie and I did,
Yep.
well, actually, yes, it is, because I did vote for it.
Vote.
at-
Right.
At
Yeah.
at the library director meeting, so. And it was just the reason they raised it is because they felt like $5 was just too low, and people were getting blocked too quickly,
Gotcha.
so. On page 41, the part about nonfiction and feature films on DVD older than 6 months or 7th day, we are proposing that all nonfiction and feature films on DVD, all of them.
Just everything.
Everything 7 days. It's easier, because right now, staff has to take the time to go and take the 3-day loan sticker off, change it in the computer.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've had complaints from patrons that
Right.
they get confused so Carrie and I are like,
Yeah.
it's pretty standard among all the libraries that their media is 7 days. TOSA is 3 weeks,
Okay.
which I'm like, but anyway,
Mhm.
it's their library. And then library things, American Girl doll and Backpack Buddies, instead of
Right.
saying that, we just say library things collections to encompass the bakeware,
stuff,
that
yeah.
creates the
Yeah, and-
tool,
right,
the
right.
tools, all that.
Perfect.
So, Explorer passes would remain at 5 days,
Mhm.
but on the 3-day loan period, we took off new adult feature films on DVD
Okay.
because those would change to 7 days. Explorer passes during designated high-use periods of the year. So, for example,
Yeah,
the zoo,
summer.
we changed to 3 days during the summer because it's
Yeah.
always out.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
That makes sense.
yeah,
Do we need to designate what those periods are, or changes, I suppose, for each?
we just
Yeah.
want to keep it vague.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Further down, there's a 3-day grace period on overdue items loaned for. We are asking for, currently, there is no 3-day grace on 7-day items.
Mm,
Carrie and I are asking for just having a 3-day grace period on
Everything that's.
everything except the library things collection.
Okay.
So those would still remain at 7 days. Those would still have the $1 a day overdue fines. But, like the
Sure.
DVDs would be 7 days with a 3-day grace period. And then there's no grace period on 3 or 5-day loan items.
okay,
That would be our, mostly our Explorer passes.
oh, gotcha. Perfect, okay.
Below, designated library items must be picked up and returned at Franklin Public Library.
Mm-hmm,
Carrie wanted to add that because we do have a lot of things that cannot,
Yeah.
like our tools.
yeah. Well, and the Explorer passes, I think, have to come back to our
Yeah.
library,
Mhm.
yeah.
Pretty much all of the library things,
Yeah.
collections have to come back to
Yeah.
our library. I changed this because I was like 63 days, why do we have 63 days? But it's because that's 9 weeks. But I thought 9 weeks is kind of easier to understand
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
than 63 days.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to do math to figure
I
out
know.
63.
Not for everybody.
I mean, it is consistent
Yeah.
with our talking about 3-day, 7-day, or 21-day
Yeah,
loans, but Carrie and I both were like, why do we pick 63 days? Why do we have 63 days? And then we realized because that's
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Is this the thing, why don't we have why don't we have a metric week? That's
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
You can talk to my AFS student about that.
Okay.
We have lots of conversation.
gotcha.
Then we had to show the Saturday Night Live with Nate Bargatze and, lower express 3-day or 5-day loan items and all library things collections may not be
Mhm.
renewed. 3-day grace period is allowed on all items which circulate for 7, I added 7, 21 or more days, with the exception of library things collections. Each day thereafter, a fine of 10 cents per day. We just, because originally it said will be assessed from the original date, we just added due date.
Mm-hmm.
There's no grace period on library things collections. The fine is $1 per day overdue, and then there are no fine. This was the addition from. Now this is a little tricky because this isn't going to start until January 1st.
Oh, we're approving it today.
Well, just go ahead and put in parentheses effective January 1st, 2026.
There you go.
And that'll do it. We can still approve it.
I'll say effective I'll say at the beginning effective January 1st, 2026.
Mhm.
Perfect, yep.
There are no fines on children, okay. $5, the maximum fine per item.
Okay.
And that's a system-wide, that is a system-wide.
A systemized, that's a
Number.
McFlist thing, yep.
Yeah. Overdue fines shall not exceed the replacement cost of the item. On the next page, and I don't know why it didn't show up in red.
What's the page number, by the way?
So we took off.
43.
Yeah.
43.
We took off a fine of 50 cents per day as assessed on all DVDs, because we would be changing it to be like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
No grace periods allowed on 3 or 7 day loan items. We said that's repetitive because we talk about that up above.
Right.
No grace periods allowed on express items. We also talk about that up above, so we
Right.
thought that's kind of repetitive, so we crossed those out. And then the last page, 43, audiovisual equipment. We don't have any audiovisual equipment
Anymore, yeah.
that we,
That you loan out.
yeah. And Franklin High School yearbooks have always been in
Oh,
the
part of
local
that
history,
history, yeah.
so we were like, why are we
Calling those out
calling
specifically.
those
Yeah.
out? They should just be lumped in under local history.
Although we have no audio visual that we rent out, somebody did make the comment that if we do DVDs and Blu-rays,
Oh, they wanted the Blu-ray disc
Yeah.
player.
could we get a
Well, we do have a DVD player you can check out. We just don't have any non-circulating. This was
Oh,
non-circulating.
got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like a microfiche reader.
Well, when I
Those fun.
8mm film projector.
up until just a few years ago, we had one of those transparent,
Oh, like an overhead projector.
yeah, overhead
Those
projector
are
with the
cool.
transparencies.
I
We
love
had
using
those.
those.
Back in the day, man.
We had one of those up until about 5 years ago.
I used that when I started teaching.
I use the purple
Oh,
copy
yeah,
machine with the purple
mimeograph.
ink that smells so.
Mimeograph.
Does anybody see anything?
I just have a question. I want to
Yeah.
clarify something.
Yeah.
So if I, this might be a personal question. If I check out a book and it's due November 1st, this goes back to fines on page 42 here.
Yeah.
And I renew it twice for my 63 or whatever, for however many times I can do it. And then after 63 days, I keep it an extra week. I'm going to be charged a fine from November 1st?
No.
Oh,
So
I'm not reading that right.
when you
then.
renew,
Oh,
when you
yes.
renew, it's just
It's a
starts
new
over
original
again.
due
It's-
date.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was making sure. All right. Phew!
Yeah, no. So that's
Be hitting
because
that
people,
$5
oftentimes
maximum.
people oftentimes will bring their items back the fourth day
Right.
and be confused as to why they have a 40-cent fine as opposed to a 10-cent
Oh.
fine because
Gotcha.
in their
Yep,
heads
yep. No,
they
no,
think
no,
it's
no.
only
Always
one day
overdue. It's not. No,
But
that
so
I understand.
Once
yeah.
the grace
Okay.
period is done.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Retroactive.
Just clarifying. All
Jennifer,
right.
tell me about the teacher cards, because that's something I feel like we could, right, the school
There's-
district could share. I'm sure
Oh
there's
yeah,
a,
they know. I think
but could we put something in like our staff newsletter about that? Don't you
I
think
can
that
have
would be-
Laura G send.
Yep, that'd
I
be
know
great.
Again,
she's
yeah.
talked. I know she's talked at different meetings over at the school district about the teacher cards, but it's probably been it
It'd
was
be
before
nice to
your
put-
time.
Yeah, I was just saying, it might nice to put something out there just for our
Mhm.
teachers to know, and we can put it in our, like, our
We
district.
do have some,
employee.
yeah. Because if they don't live in Milwaukee
Right, if-
County, they
Mhm.
can still come here and get materials for their classrooms.
And then are
Not related.
students reminded at the beginning of each school year? I know they get so much information though that their IDs can be used.
We gotta be careful getting off topic here.
Yeah,
I
wanna
know.
make a motion to,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I wanna make
I'll
a
say that.
motion to approve the revised circulation policy with the changes so noted.
I'll second that.
Yay.
All right. Mike and Jason, any other questions about the circulation policy? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries. All right. Moving on. Thank you, Mike, for keeping us
Shoot
on
it for the
track.
record.
All right.
And just for the record, mine was in this policy, that's why I asked about it, the teacher cards, because it was listed in this policy. So I
Excellent.
wasn't sure. It wasn't off the topic.
Mine was, sorry. It was related to schools. Okay,
It was,
Jason,
yes.
do you have a update from the council?
We have finance committee tomorrow night, you are welcome to join us. There will probably be more talk about the budget, especially because of department requests for additional cuts. This will then go in front of council. My guess would be the first Tuesday, so the 4th. I think that there will be a committee of the whole meeting as well. We have a very tight window as far as adopting the budget, and I think we have to have it done by the 21st.
Hmm.
So There's a lot of moving parts with the budget, and we don't have a lot of time to
Right.
kind of go back and forth. That's why I'm really pleased with the board adopting the budget tonight.
Mm.
And I was very impressed with the director's presentation to the finance committee.
Well, thank you.
So that went very, very well. And I think highlighting a lot of the very sound decisions that are being made here, very helpful as far as moving things forward. Did that sound-
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, great. Agenda item 8 then is the update from the Franklin Public Schools.
I'd say nothing new at this time. We're just
Okay.
in the swing of the school year.
Yeah, great.
Mhm.
Going well?
I can't complain.
Good,
Yes, that's fine.
excellent. All right. Okay, and then the report of the president is next. I would just like to piggyback on top of Jason's comment on, and just, give accolades to all of you for how we have built our relationship with the city and done such a good job over the past years communicating with them and that kind of thing. I think through this budget process, that kind of thing really helps. So thank all of you for just helping to do that, and I think that helps us. So, and then the second thing I wanted to mention, and some of you may be aware of this, but there is a neighboring library in the McFliss system that has had some of their books challenged. They're being asked to have some books banned, and it did escalate to protests and other things. And so I would just like to encourage all of us to be particularly aware of our policies and to look at some of those things from, you guys can probably help me where to find them, like the Library Association, both nationwide and in Wisconsin, regarding why we do what we do and what freedom there is in public libraries. So if you need resources to look at or policies or whatever, just contact myself or Jennifer and we'll make sure you're looking at the right things, because if it's happened this close to us, you never know, right? So just especially with a few new members on the board, just maybe beef up a little on some of that. So
And if you don't have a binder,
yes,
Binder, I was just gonna say, is it in the
it's on our
Yes.
website.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like the challenge materials policy and then the request for reconsideration.
those are the policies. There's just some good information though on
Yeah.
in the
They-
binder, like way in the back. I'm
Okay.
thinking of
But
those
I
sections.
linked to,
So
I linked
yeah.
to that on our website too, the
Okay.
ALA Freedom to Read statement.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, so just, all right. All right, and then I think that was it for this month. So Jennifer, you can take it away with your report.
You can read, it's
Yep.
continuing HVAC issues, although you can tell it's much warmer in this room than it was last week, so. I think one morning I walked in, it was 62. So temporarily they've been fixed and they're working on getting a contractor in to replace the valves, which they knew were bad. This is not a new
Right.
thing. I mean, this has been known from the beginning. So, but the
So
boilers are working.
nothing that needs to still be done, that's gonna be an issue over the winter.
Right, so the next thing is I thought maybe the air chiller replacement might have started last week while I was gone, because that's gonna take 8 to 9 weeks, but that hasn't started yet.
Going chiller.
So, but I guess I understand, because a year ago, I don't know if you guys remember, but a year ago, our air conditioning was out because we had that electrical issue, and we decided not to fix it, because we were replacing it in the spring
Right.
anyway.
Right.
And then we ended up getting like an 85, 90 degree day,
Yeah.
days towards the end of October, and we were all sweating it.
Yeah.
It was great. And it was during the holiday rummage sale. And then one thing I was talking with Alan before the meeting, so I just asked the department heads for an update, and I said 1 paragraph,
Yeah.
and
I
they
think-
went overachieving.
I don't know, I think
Is
that
it too much reading?
No.
Yes. What
Yes,
decisions
and
do we
no.
make on any of this? That
It's not
it,
really
that it should
just-
come to a board. I agree, to send this out, but I don't think it's part of the board agenda.
I just put it in as informational.
Right. So would you still like to receive the information as a
Yeah.
board member?
Sure.
But how, so then what do you propose? Like sending it out mid-month or just at a different time as a communication? I'm just asking, is that
A second communications, not.
not an
with-
agenda item?
With the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do the rest of you feel?
I like that.
Well, another thing that we talked about it from time to time, we've got different staff come in. We want to talk
Yeah,
about
like-
what's going on, so then we've had that, so it's probably once a quarter you have, okay, what's going on? Make that part of the meeting up front.
Yeah.
And then,
I found it very
I
helpful.
liked it. I liked
Yeah.
it too, just
I mean, I
to
could
kinda-
ask him to shorten it up. but,
I think that, I don't think the issue is length. I think the issue is, do we need it as part of our board meeting agenda, or can it be a board communication?
I could just send it out as a separate communication,
Yeah.
like at the end of the month. Like, as not part of the board meeting, but just, this is what's going on.
Do they put something like this together every month anyway? Or is this something extra that you added on there?
This was
like-
just something new,
Okay.
yeah.
What I like about it is it does keep us, it's not just kind of informed about what they're doing within their roles and their departments, to kind of have a better understanding, especially when we're talking about it as it relates to activities or budget, things of that nature. It's kind of nice to have this overview. Though there's some really nice, like, individual accolades that they've given to people in these reports. Another way of recognition, I guess, for your employees.
I mean, they are proud of
Yeah,
what they're
you
doing,
can tell,
so.
like, you can tell through what you're reading.
And I agree with Amanda. I think it's good that we as a board know some of these details, since we are making decisions. But again, it's the when is it communicated? Would we see the email at the end of the month and not read it as carefully as we would in a board packet? That would be my question. And I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Any feedback, how you want to receive it? Okay. Jennifer can think about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about
Talk
it.
about,
Yep, okay.
So we have the holiday boutique and thrift sale, which we still
Mhm.
could use some volunteers for. Hint, hint. And then the holiday bake sale, we're selling our calendar raffles right now and coffee fundraiser for the foundation. And that's it.
So
Oh,
regarding the thrift sale, you had time slots like for many, many evenings, pricing and organizing. Did you really need all that help last year? The reason I ask is I
Oh.
could sign up for a different time slot instead of one of those if you know what I mean?
I'm not, well, we have, Wednesday
you-
is very nicely covered. We don't
Okay.
have it, we don't have anybody Sunday, Monday.
Right.
Or Tuesday.
I think I'm on Tuesday.
You're on Tuesday? Wednesday was like the
Okay.
big day when a lot of people
Okay.
signed up.
All right.
And then, what
Okay,
I
so
really
you-
need are cashiers
Okay, okay,
during the sale.
okay,
So Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
okay.
And then our numbers were good again. We beat our physical circ and our e-circ from last year. I think our locker holds, I couldn't believe it, I went and double checked it,
Good.
345 locker holds, locker
And
service.
have people gotten used to picking them up pretty quickly? I know for sometimes they sit, but
We have a list of people that
Yeah.
we've called
yeah.
to remind them.
Gotcha.
One person has
Been-
repeatedly not picked things up and
Yeah.
has lots of stuff on hold. And we are
pulling their
telling her,
privileges.
yeah, we are telling, because the lockers are so busy, we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
afford to keep
right.
them.
Right. Do
For
we need
somebody
a
who's not
policy
working.
on that, or no, just, okay?
It's, I wouldn't
I
wanna make
suppose
a
it depends,
policy
yeah,
for just
for
the
that.
very
Yep.
few.
Okay, you guys just have an
violations
internal,
that we
yeah,
have. We have an internal list.
good idea,
So, but 345, I was like, what?
yeah.
So I went back and I was like, was that a typo? And then I went back and nope. that
Yeah.
was-
And at what point do we get a second locker system if
Oh
it's
my
so
goodness.
popular, or is that not
Yeah.
really? Is that something that has even been talked about among staff?
No,
No,
not yet.
okay, all right,
I mean, we have to pull, like, we'll keep things in there
mm-hmm,
for 3 days. And
Okay.
then we pull them on the
Yep.
4th day. We've had
Okay.
to pull them. So before, when they weren't as popular,
Right.
we were leaving them in a little bit
right,
longer.
right,
And giving them a little bit more time, but now we're just, nope, we
Okay.
didn't pick it up. So.
Why does the locker come up as a option when I'm searching for an item on the MICFLIS website? I can search by library and the locker is an option.
Well, that's, I think that's I'd have to ask Jen Schmidt.
Okay, we can talk about that later. All right,
That's interesting, yeah.
yeah, I'll show you where I
Yeah.
do that. Okay. Any other questions for Jennifer? Okay, and since Annie is here, Jennifer is going to give us the report of the foundation.
So you read Laura's thing. We had 50
Yep.
attendees for the Nick Petrie event, which we were hoping for more, but it was an excellent event. Like, it was, you couldn't ask for a better speaker.
Mhm.
I got so many people, attendees afterwards, talking about how great it was.
Yeah,
So we were like, maybe, when we only had 50 tickets, Laura and I were like, maybe we just will suggest to the foundation that we take a year off.
mhm.
But then after it was
It's
so
nice to have
great.
a variety of
Right.
things, you know, if you
Yeah.
have, I know when we were first looking at other ways, there were trivia nights, and there was all sorts of different
Mhm.
things, as long as you have somebody that's going to then run it. you know,
Well, it's me and Laura that run it. And we were like, okay, for all the work that we put into it, is it worth it? But then after the thing, we looked at each other and we were like, yeah, maybe we will do one next year. But the key is finding really good speakers,
Right.
right? So we had John Girdle last year that brought in 100. And then Nick Petrie brought in 50 this year. We're gonna try for some, because we didn't think we would get Nick Petrie
Right,
when we asked.
Yeah.
And then he was like, sure. And we were like, what? Because we can't really pay that much. And some of the big authors, you know, they cost like,
yeah.
I don't know, tell you how much.
Yeah.
some
So
of them
how
cost.
do you advertise to other libraries in the library system?
We
Or
send
do-
flyers. We send our flyer and ask them to post it.
Okay.
And then it's on our Facebook, and we boosted our Facebook.
Okay.
Laura put flyers around Franklin where she could.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, there are other. My sister lives in Missouri, and they have like on the MICFLIS, like that MICFLIS app site that you
Yeah.
go to, right? They have all their author visits for the her entire library system.
mhm.
So if somebody really wants to see Nick Petrie and he's across town and it's a fundraiser for whatever, well, at least I here in Franklin know about it, because when I go to my MICFLIS website to look for something, there it is.
Yeah.
And it has every library, and it doesn't do every event at every library, but like authors and that kind of thing are big
Kinda
events.
Kind of library-ish events.
Right.
Yeah, North
Things-
Shore.
So it would
Chicago's
just be
North Shore
something that
Libraries
maybe the
today.
directors could talk about to dedicate, if it's, possible that, something like that. I mean, I'm assuming other libraries are doing something similar, bringing in something as a fundraiser, and, if it's something like a big name author, people will travel for that. Look at the people that come. My kids love that goofy Chad Lewis. They will. He has his groupies. You know what I
Does
mean?
have his groupies.
The people will travel for that kind of thing. So It would be nice if
I
we
can
could
talk to Deb
somehow
Merritt.
take advantage of publicizing it to the city of Milwaukee that Nick Petrie is in Franklin, and, you know, so I don't know if, and,
I mean,
and
Deb does try to like highlight. She
yeah.
sends out a monthly
Okay,
e-newsletter, and she
Yeah.
tries to highlight. So we send things to her.
sure, okay.
But it's not the same
It's
as
not
what you're
that
talking
kind of thing.
about.
Yeah, yeah.
But I could talk
Just
to her
an
about,
idea
So
for
what,
system.
Is it St. Louis? Is it St.
Yeah.
Louis? I can have Deb look at it and then
Yeah, there we go.
ask her how we could emulate that because my library board president
Has connections.
has, yeah.
Demanded.
No.
Did we collect the email addresses of the people who did attend? So we have a targeted audience who attend these things, that we can send them out flyers
Well,
or
everybody who has
notices?
an email address in their records should be getting our e-newsletter. Do you get it? Have you ever? I'm gonna sign you up for it.
But it's so important to hit the people who go to these things
Mm-hmm.
as a target audience, for sure.
And we're not selling our list, but we could share it with other libraries
Yes.
who are doing these similar events, and they could share their list. You know, that's, I
I
guess,
have to check
kind
with
of
them
what.
because of privacy.
Yeah,
law.
no, I know, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
would be where having some sort of a page that everybody could see, if we can't do that. Anyway.
What we should consider doing is having, you know, when you go to a business and you're like Penzies and you have a chance to sign up.
Mm-hmm,
We should just have a sign up at the
For sure.
at the
Yeah.
programs.
some of the.
Maybe not collect them without them knowing it, but
Yeah.
have them sign up.
Some of the performers do that, they put out a sheet
Mhm.
and you know what you're signing up for,
Mhm.
so,
Yeah, I can
anyway.
do that. That's easy.
Okay, anything upcoming, so the foundation is doing the thrift sale, or the
There's-
holiday
So
sale.
fall always ends up being
Yeah.
very high pressure
Yeah.
because we've got the calendars, the coffee, the thrift sale, the bake
The bake sale.
the literary event.
Yes.
It's like,
All at this time of the
Yeah.
year, yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
so that's what's going on right now.
okay,
And unless they change it, it'll probably be pretty much the same next year because it's
sure.
been a
They have to-
success.
Yeah,
They've been successful.
okay,
And if you have any items you want to donate to the holiday rummage sale, we're
Mhm.
taking fall or, no Halloween, please, fall or Christmas decor
Items,
related
yeah.
things
Okay,
next weekend, Saturday.
yeah,
We'll provide you a cart and a dolly if you want.
wow. So there's a drop-off date,
There's
but
a
you
drop-off
can,
date.
you can bring it
Okay.
anytime, I'm assuming.
Cover that up. But we are encouraging people to drop them off this weekend.
Gotcha.
We will continue to take things up until
Gotcha, okay,
the start of the sale. We're not going
alrighty,
to turn stuff away. But
Right.
Maria, you were pointing out that some people lost
Yes.
lost Christmas decor in the floods.
yes,
So I can get extra flyers if you know, like Clement Manor had
yep.
a big issue.
Mhm. I
So-
gave my mom
Mhm.
stuff to pass on to their
Yeah.
person
Mhm.
who does the posting of
Yeah.
everything. So.
We made like 6,600 last year. I'd like to make more
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, so
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
do well. And this year we're doing a little bit differently because last year we advertised it as a rummage sale. So when we had things that were priced a little higher, people were like, "Well, this isn't really a rummage sale."
Right.
So now we're calling it a boutique
Oh.
thrift sale. So we're gonna have both boutique things
Yes,
and thrift
things. Very good.
So.
Excellent. Okay, any foundation questions? All right, then our next meeting is November 24th, which is the Monday of Thanksgiving week. Does anybody know right now that they are unable to attend? Okay. Sounds good, and it is 7:03.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We'll give it to, who are we giving it to, Amanda? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Okay. You guys have a wonderful month.